The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, senior police officers called in today to help manage holiday crowds at LPIA after customs officers called out sick. We have the latest for you. Meanwhile, a 41-year-old man arrested in connection with the brutal assault of that single mother a few days ago. We also have an update on her condition tonight. And Abaco Chamber of Commerce President Daphne Mayolis stepping down from the presidency, saying a lack of interest and concern among locals is discouraging. This is Beyond the Headlines, Week in Review Fridays. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, customs officers scheduled for the morning shift called out sick, leaving stations unmanned at LPIA today. President of the Bahamas Customs and Immigration and Allied Workers Union, Deron Brooks, says that while the assistance this morning was necessary, it's concerning that police officers were sent in or to step in as it posed significant security risk. Well, we're going to speak with the union president to find out exactly where things stand now. Does the sick out also involve immigration officers, as he too is the president of a union, that umbrella union, and how things are looking for the weekend? You know, it's going to be quite a very, very busy weekend as Christmas is just a few days away. And so welcome to Beyond the Headlines, Union President Brooks. It's good to see you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good afternoon, Ms. Miller. Thank you for having me on the show. Today was a different kind of day. First, thank God for being alive. Let me acquaint you as to what I know that has transpired. When I reported to duty this morning, a media house contacted me as it relates to some information they received about customs officers not reporting for duty at LPIA. At the time, it was shortly after 9 a.m., and I told the media house that contacted me that I was unaware of it, and as far as I know, there is no industrial action taking place because, like I said, me being the union president, I reported to duty, and if we were having any industrial action, and every time that we have had a strike or sick out, I wouldn't report to duty, even prior to us having this union when we were under the previous union. So there is officially no industrial action taking place today in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. What I will say is, at the time I was contacted by the media house, I would have considered it just a staff shortage, right? Because there was nobody there at the time, or at the first inquiry that I made, I was told that there were 2 customs officers at LPIA. Shortly after that, I made another inquiry around 10 a.m., somewhere or thereabout, and I was told that there was 1 custom officer and a senior police officer.
A senior police officer where? You mean at the various stations?
At the customs clearance area at LPIA. That's what I was told. I was not there. I asked a very credible officer to tell me what was going on, and that's what they told me.
How many officers, how many customs officers in total called out sick today?
At this point, I haven't gotten any confirmation in that regard. See, when the 4 p.m. shift comes, and if the same thing happens, then you can say that maybe the officers just refuse to report to duty. Maybe they're sick. They're entitled to be sick. But let me also say this: they may be stressed, mentally and physically fatigued. This is the Yuletide season. They were expecting certain things, and maybe they just don't feel well. Because I didn't feel well this morning either. I almost didn't come to work, but I came to work.
But you forced yourself to go into work.
Yeah, I came to work today too. I didn't feel well, but I came to work.
Okay, so what was the?
So I'm not saying that's not I'm not saying they can do the same thing, but I'm saying, at times we all don't feel like reporting for duty.
You listen. You speak into all the choir of the Bahamas. What I'm asking you though is, what was the shift to have looked like? How many people make up a shift?
I think there are several belts. Each belt can occupy 2 officers. So let's say if there were 5 to 7 belts, you will miss, in addition to
about 14 officers were supposed to have been.
Maybe even more, inclusive of the supervisors.
About
right?
20 officers were to have been on the shift.
I don't want to give you a specific number. I could get that for you, but
one showed up. But one showed up. Do you find it strange, President, that all of these people are sick at once?
No,
is there something in the water at LPIA?
Well, that could quite possibly be it. This is the flu season. That could very well be it. It could be the flu season.
Yes, sir. No, it is the flu season. I know many
people.
It is
the flu season.
Yes, sir. Many people are actually recovering.
Ms. Miller, could I say something else?
Yes, sir.
Last week, Wednesday, the union made an attempt to reach out to our employers as it relates to paying some outstanding monies for Customs and Immigration Department. The Customs Department is owed from April of this year, and the Immigration Department is owed from July of this year. And we're going into a new calendar year. So essentially, the government owes Customs and Immigration for a lot of money. And the previous fiscal year's money has not been paid as yet. So we're going into a new calendar year, and those officers are still owed from the previous fiscal year. The fiscal year starts July 1st and ends June 30th. So from July of this year to June 30th of next year is one fiscal year.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And there's no indication as to when those payments will be made. Now, the immigration officers are in a slightly better position in terms of how back they are with monies owed. The customs officers are a little bit further back. Like I said, the customs officers are owed from April of this year.
Would you say the financial strain and knowing it's the holiday season and all of that combined with the hustle and bustle that the airport is known to have on a daily basis, but even more, just increased by 100% during the holiday season, was just too much? Therefore,
Ms. Miller, we all have regular obligations, and they had a reasonable expectation to be paid for what they legally work for and what they're owed. Their supervisors asked them to work these extra hours. After they would have put in a regular 8-hour shift, or even on their day off, they have a reasonable expectation to be paid. So I assume they would feel some type of way. And we're entering the Yuletide season, just like everybody else. Right, and the private sector, some companies in the private sector, they get Christmas bonuses. As a government employee, you don't get that. You get what you work for. And they had a reasonable expectation to get paid what they work for. But see, if the Bahamas government had cared about customs and immigration, you and I wouldn't be having this conversation.
Wow. So a lack of care and monies owed compounded by it being the holiday season and not being able to, I guess, meet expectations and obligations. These people fell ill. So does this now?
It is quite possible. I'm not saying that's what the case is.
This is just me taking the liberty of a host. This is not me speaking on behalf of you or your membership. Does this also involve the immigration officers?
At this time, I have not received any information that immigration officers have seriously fell ill as well. I have not received any information to that effect.
Now, your membership obviously covers the nation.
Right.
Yes. Are officers, is this sick out, or did anybody call out sick then in Grand Bahama or elsewhere?
I've heard that on several other places that one or two here and there on different ports may not have reported to duty. I can't say that because I've not spoken to them individually that them doing that is in conjunction with this. I'd also like to say that there's another area where customs is old. When you have a business house, a vendor that requests the presence of a customs officer when they have imported goods that's being offloaded from a trailer that came from outside of the country, these customs officers use their own vehicles to do the government work. There's a fee that's levied within the charge that the government charges the vendor to reimburse the customs officer for the use of their vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are owed from last year.
Wow. So going out to do this extra, going out to major companies and trying to clear items, as you said, on behalf of the government, as is the duty of the Customs Department, you are saying even those payments that customs officers willingly go and perform and perform those duties, they have not been compensated for even those going out, basically sort of on remote, out in the public.
Yes, those payments are delinquent as well.
I want to ask you.
I'd also like to take this time to say, we also have some immigration officers that have recently joined the civil service, and they have not yet received the same insurance coverage as the other officers. So we have squads that joined in 2024, and they work in the same environment as everybody else, but they don't have the same insurance coverage, and that has taken what we believe to be an inordinate length of time as it relates to furnishing them with those insurance cards for their coverage. But beyond that, this union has made representation on behalf of both departments as it relates to outstanding promotions, reclassifications, and confirmations. So we're still waiting on that. So there are a number of issues that the union has made representation on behalf of both departments to our employer, and we're still waiting to get resolution on those issues.
What has the response been? You said just last week you made representation again to say, listen, this matter needs to be addressed. Give us some definitive answers on these outstanding payments and various sort of adjustments, etc. What's the response been?
We have not gotten a response.
Ignored.
Let me say this. I'll be truthful, and I was being truthful. I want to acquaint you with it. We reached out and we asked, could you look at paying for government payday because it's Yuletide, especially because it's Yuletide season. We were told that they'd look into it and that we should get back to them. We have not gotten any answer. So we reached out to them again, but to date, we have not gotten any response. Government payday has passed, nothing was paid. So now we have to wait till next year, next payday, which would be 7 weeks from now, approximately 7 weeks, which would be the end of January, to see if they're paid in. And there is no guarantee then that they will pay.
Absolutely.
Ms. Miller.
Yes, sir.
The Controller of Customs recently informed the country about a record-breaking period, a record-breaking year in terms of revenue collection. In the history of the country, this is the most revenue that has been collected. So essentially, the number 1 and 2 revenue generating and collecting agencies, that's customs and immigration, collecting the bulk of your revenue, cannot get what they have worked for. These officers and the customs cashiers, can't forget about them, they're the non-uniform support staff, right?
Yes.
These persons don't want one extra dollar. All they want is what they work for.
Yes. Yes, I wanted to ask you, of course I have to go to a break, but are the police officers doing a good enough job? I know this is peak travel season. What's happening there?
Let me say something in retrospect. When Customs and Immigration was on strike in 2012, the then government took the position to put Defense Force officers in the immigration booths to clear passengers. They are not trained immigration officers. Immigration officers and customs officers would sit in the classroom 4 months and then get on-the-job training. This is your specialty. This is what you do. This is a specialized area. Now, it is my understanding back then that the U.S. government took grave exception to that because you have persons that were not trained, that were just in the booth, processing people and letting in everybody. Now, a police officer, I don't care what other specialized training they have, they are not custom officers. They won't know what to look for. They could search, they're used to searching for drugs and firearms and other things, but they are not trained Bahamas customs officers. They won't know what to look for. The only thing they're gonna do is allow people, ask them a few questions. Hi, how you doing? What are you bringing into the Bahamas?
Yes. So in essence, you feel it's a slap in the face to try bring any defense or police officers in there to perform duties that you all were specially trained for.
See, it is not only a slap in the face. That's a national security risk.
A national security, yeah, because then
that's what it is. You have untrained persons trying to do what it is that a trained individual is doing. They could only basically allow people in. They can't do anything of significance that a customs officer or an immigration officer would do. You can't put somebody else to do it. I've been an immigration officer for 34 years, right? And I've worked closely with customs and Family Islands, and I have a basic understanding of some of the things that they do, but I am not a trained customs officer. I cannot do what they do.
Yes.
So if I can't do it, you think a police officer could do it?
I highly doubt it.
Okay.
Listen, I really have to go. We will certainly follow up with this over the weekend because I only can imagine what the weekend holds. We know it's a very, very busy travel weekend ahead of us. Of course, thank you very much, President of the Bahamas Customs, Immigration and Allied Workers Union, D1 Brooks. They're showing up for duty at the airport. It seems as though it's basically him and maybe another person, while about minimum of 20 customs officers are out sick here at LPIA and other spots around the country. We will follow up on that, of course, over the weekend and certainly on Monday. Thank you very much, Union President Brooks.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. Don't go anywhere because when we come back, the Hot Topics panel is here and they're going to give opinion on that and a whole lot more. Stay exactly where you are.
For carpets, bed sheets, and bath mats, there's a place I know. For shower curtains, comforters, and window curtains, only one place to go. Fixing your home or automotive, that's no fuss. We'll put a smile on your face, come and shop with us. For all you need and more, shop at AID for Christmas.
Rejuvenate, refresh, treat yourself. Immerse yourself in total comfort. Pamper yourself. After all, you're worth it. Relax. Rid yourself of all life's stresses. At Baja Retreat Anti-Aging Spa, you will find everything you need to enhance your body and spirit. Call today at 323-6711 and begin your journey to serenity at Baja Retreat Anti-Aging Spa.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay.
K. Michelle.
What up, y'all? It's your girl K. Michelle. December the 28th, I'm going to be in the Bahamas. I'm coming to sing some songs. Yes, Bahamas. K. Michelle.
We gonna light
Life Jennings.
Yo, what's up? Nassau, Bahamas. Life Jennings is performing December 28th.
And Jay Holiday.
Yo, what's good, man? It's me, your boy Jay Holiday. I'm going to be performing live on Saturday, December 28th.
At the Nassau Cruise Port. Early bird tickets are now available online. Powered by 103.5 The Beat. Nightlife Entertainment. Alpha Sound Promotions. Free Bands Entertainment. 242 Party and Playhouse.
See y'all, Bahamas, December 28th.
This segment of Beyond the Headlines is brought to you by EV Motors. Drive the future with brand new 2024 electric vehicles. EV Motors, powering your journey.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. We're going to get into some hot topics, and just earlier this afternoon, I want to start here because this year we heard the Minister of Health talk about, at the time, of hundreds of attempts or even, I hate to say successful because they don't say it, so maybe attempts that went through, suicides. And earlier this afternoon, of course, Eyewitness News reported that a young man believed to be in his early 20s committed suicide in the area of Tonic Williams Darling Highway. And you know, as we go into the new year and around this time of year, so many people are hopeless for so many reasons. We heard the Customs Union president talk about customs officers looking forward to pay or an increase in pay and adjustments, and because that's sort of dragging, they called out sick. And so many people are just either depressed or feeling hopeless or see no way out for whatever the reason. And I want to kind of jump in right there with the Hot Topics panelists. Good evening to both of you. Leslie Miller, Glenroy Pratt, it's good to have you both here. You know, you gentlemen, I know you all saw that headline and heard the information about the gentleman in his 20s, early 20s, who committed suicide, you know, earlier today. It is just troubling that this has now become all too frequent, whether it be attempts or suicides in the Bahamas. This has never been where who we were as a people, taking or even attempting to take our lives.
Yeah, good evening, Shanique, good evening, Bahamas. You know, it's unfortunate that we find ourselves in the situation where we are finding young people are just unfortunately taking their lives. You know, my mind go back to the young man who took his life some time earlier. I think he was under 10 years of age, or if I not remember.
Eight years old, yes.
You know,
yes.
who killed himself.
Off West Bay Street.
Yeah, you know, and it's just saddening to hear that, you know. I mean, and the state of affairs for these individuals have to be a hopeless state, and to the point where they find it necessary to end their lives. I just pray that the family, you know, find the comfort that they need, especially in a season like this, to have to deal with such tragic news and to hear of such things. And the thing is, you don't know, you know, sometimes signs are there, but, you know, sometimes either we're not picking up on the signs or sometimes we're ignoring the signs, and the end result is such things that happen, and it's so sad.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. Here we go again on this state of affairs. Christmas is less than 6 days away, and some young person, 23 years old, decided life was too difficult for them to carry on another minute, another day, and they decided to take their life. We don't know how it happened. It was knocked down by a vehicle or what have you. But just think of the tragedy of his precious mother, his father, his brothers and sisters, uncle and aunts. I took my daughter Yasmin and her son Luke through Market Street and the other areas today to go to get a vehicle fixed. The first thing she said to me, she said, "Daddy, the poverty in Bahamas is so overcoming, Daddy. Look at these people on the road. Wow. They were at a milk stand trying to get food and things. Yeah. So what are we going to do as a people? Because you see these people are hiding. So you could see it in their faces. They just got the head hang down. I say, yeah, it's a little rough right now, you know, but I don't think people are aware. You know, I've been had the opportunity to go into all of these areas in New Providence, and I can tell you what poverty is about. You don't know what goes through these young people and old people's mind. There's a sense of hopelessness. There's a sense of pressure. As I told you all over and over again, The rent man comes every Saturday to get his money. He's not going to wait for 2 weeks. He's not going to get house renting for no month anymore. Because I know they don't have the ability to pay it. Once they get paid on Saturday, on Friday, my money could be gone. The pressures on all of these poor people. You know, I just thank God that the government has to come with a plan that is going to sustain us as a people.
Yeah.
We have to do better than this. We are better than this. Okay? I mean, no matter how tough life is, you shouldn't get to the point where a young man of 23 years old took his life. For God's sake, man.
Wow.
I mean, how is he going to be forgiven by God if he took his own life? He couldn't even ask God, please forgive me. How are you going to ask forgiveness if you kill yourself? And that's a human being. That's one of us. Whether we like it, that's one of us. That's a part of our future that is no longer here today. And I just want to express my deepest sympathy on behalf of all Bahamians. That let us do better. Let us show more love. Let us show more concern for others who are less fortunate than we are. Okay, this is a season of giving. When you see the Red Cross saying that the outreach
And the demand has increased.
is down by 50% and the demand is increased by 50%. When you hear the churches, the good gentleman on Wolf Road, who's done such a wonderful job over the years in assisting the poor, I think most people don't appreciate some of the problems that our brothers and sisters face, you know. Those who would have an education, get a good job, I think they're oblivious to what goes on in the city. I said that most of my friends who have done well, their children have never been in the ghetto. They have never been on East Street, never been through Broome Street, never been in the Grove. And in their mind, this is the Bahamas. It is not the Bahamas. It is the few who got away from the inner city, who was able to make good and do good for their family. But we keep letting these children know that, no, this is your life. It is not your life. Each and every one of us is responsible for each other, whether we like it or not, because that's the future of the country.
Absolutely.
And we got to do better.
Yeah.
You know, we have to do better. And I want to thank Adrian Fawkes Foundation. I want to thank Sabas for delivering on $4.5 million to assist Bahamians to get educated. Adrian, what he's done for the people in Camp Road and other areas, the sports center, giving away some $750,000 in food stamps. What happened to the rest of the community? When is the banks going to step up? And Bahamians are now deriding these men, you know, for being good citizens and for being able to lease buildings to government, despite the fact that the other side, those of lighter color than us, takes home $56 million a year. Not one damn black Bahamian ever complained about them in their life. But the minute a black man rises to the occasion and he's able to do anything worthwhile, they jump on him and beat him in the ground. Show some shame, man. Show some respect for those who have a heart. Those men together has already given out all of the gaming houses. Gives the government more than $60 million a year. What they have done for this country in give backs is more than the entire commercial sector, including the hotels, the banks, the insurance companies, for the last 20 years. Say thank you sometime. Instead of hating on your brothers, look in the mirror. That's you, you know. That's who you're talking about yourself. You know, I met two ladies yesterday, one today, and I went to buy some fish. I said, Mr. Miller, I'm a trained accountant. I work for an insurance company. I have my qualifications. There's several of them in insurance and banking. So you know, in every other week, they are replacing us with some foreigner with less qualifications, less degrees, Mr. Miller.
Wow.
It is not fair.
Yeah.
And we allow the hotel damn sector to do this every day. 40 years ago, Bahamians worked in the higher echelon of that sector. Now it's down to nothing. You heard the lady from Abaco, what she said. You know, that nobody cares. That the government signed these heads of agreement that makes no damn sense. Because all the MP want is jobs. So you get these little menial jobs that pay basic pay. You don't think about a school could be built in those communities. You don't think about infrastructure could be there.
Absolutely.
Outlets for kids getting involved in positive activities, sports and the like. All y'all talk about is, man, I can give you 50 jobs. And of course, the MP can get about 20. Get a brain in your head, eh?
Yeah.
That's what we elected you for.
It's time.
The work on our behalf and not your own.
It's time.
And your friends.
Yeah.
People are getting sick and tired, man. Come January 1st, election starts, you know.
It's time.
Election starts January 1st.
Yep.
And those who don't step to the plate and do the right thing, you will be gone. Remember what I tell you.
It's time, Leslie.
You will be gone.
Well, Leslie, stay in that same vein right there, because you and Glenroy, I want you all to consider this. You know, I'll tell you, we may say that they are already handsomely paid. That doesn't come before us because they put in the work and the hours. I'm speaking now of customs officers. You know, this is out by them. And the union president at the top of tonight's show said it's not industrial action. However, several, and when I say several, in excess of 20 customs officers who were scheduled to be at work called out sick, to the point that they had to call police officers in to man the various, those areas. I'm not sure what they would properly be called, but let's say the lines and the lanes, that they had to call them in. However, let's go back to that. They are saying that because of being owed monies that were negotiated in industrial agreements, adjustments and promotions and all the rest of it continues to be stalled. And they are not getting any answers and not just no word, nothing. And so therefore people have had enough, whether it's stress, whether it's planned for this money that should have been in their hands by now, particularly at a season like this, but they don't have it. And so therefore they've just had enough. Again, this comes on the heels of Bahamas Air's staff and flight attendants also holding the airport, or Bahamas Air rather, hostage earlier this week. Your thoughts about where that stands?
You know, the problem is, obviously, if people have worked, because I heard the union president talking about the overtime and stuff like that. If people have worked for overtime, they should be paid for the overtime that they work.
What's the problem?
I don't understand why it's such a hard thing. If people went out of their way, and as he indicated that they were asked by their supervisor and the likes, hey, can you work a little extra shift? Sometimes
and go out to properties,
Yes. You know, sometimes you're tired and you'll be like, yeah, you know what, anyway, okay, yeah, I'll work it. And then to hear at the end of the day, take a break, I don't have your money right now, and in some cases not even telling you when you will have my money. You know, that obviously will cause you to be angered, you know, and every day you're coming to work, and no doubt you're still being asked to perform additional tasks, and no doubt you're probably still being asked to work additional overtime, and still not having been paid the time that you already owed. That would certainly cause you to have some levels of distress and anger. Obviously, I know that he doesn't want to call it a sick out, but it's a signal and a message being sent by their actions that, hey, listen, we are frustrated and we are tired, and somebody needs to listen to what we are saying and address our issues. And you can't blame them if they're being ignored. I mean, who wants to be in a situation where they're constantly ignored after being asked for something that you rightfully earned and worked hard for? Let's be fair. Let's not allow ourselves to take advantage of people, especially in such times, as Mr. Miller indicated a few minutes ago. I mean, people are out there hurting. You know, they're finding it hard. The working poor, we call them. People going out there on their jobs every single day, in and out, working very hard. And then you're being told, I don't have your money after, you know, sacrificing your family time, sacrificing taking your kids certain places, sacrificing you and your wife or whatever the case may be. And you decided to work overtime.
Also, you say sacrificing, also having now factored in that additional pay, money, salaries, adjustment, for a time like this where they could do this, maybe house renovations, maybe of course having to put a smile on your kids' faces and other family members, etc., and then not being able to do it. Yeah,
that's just it's burdening, and it causes that pain that people are facing, and that's what we're saying right now. They're frustrated.
But I don't understand. Who's responsible for it? Who's the minister? You all say you have a deal with the unions. The Progressive Party, you don't have this memorandum of understanding. Yet, in the papers this morning, Mr. Ferguson says that 14 unions
that's another fight.
Have strike certificate. They can walk off the job any day.
Any day.
So please, whoever is responsible, whatever team you all got, why can't you just sit with the workers? If the guys there at customs say, listen, man, we had a contract, in our contract it says you owe me X, Y, Z. Yeah. It takes 3 damn years to work it out. It really takes that long, man?
Wow.
Huh? 3 years to work it out? You know what the guy's going to do? Come January 1st, election start.
Yep.
The cycle start. Then they can put more pressure on you. And by putting pressure on you, it ill affects the Bahamian people.
Yeah, exactly.
If you was on your own, Because your check go to your bank account.
Yep.
Theirs don't. They got to go hustle for a living.
Yep.
Why can't you just sit down and settle these things, man? What's your problem? Huh?
Yeah.
You were elected to govern, you know. Govern.
Yeah. But the money there. I mean, and you
give the people what you owe them.
Yeah. You can't be bragging about record-breaking revenue and then at the same time not paying the people.
I went to the airport yesterday. The people there who collect your baggage, they raising hell because they're saying that someone in tourism and someone who heads either the NAD or the other one has now gotten some new people to come there to work.
Wow.
Okay, when I was there last week, none of the belts work. For 2 hours, the belt just went dead.
Yeah.
Why you want to bring other people on job what the fellas have for somebody to make a couple of damn dollars? Don't be hogs, man. Everybody got to live.
Yeah.
Okay. You're always elected by the people, you know.
Yeah.
What's your problem?
You know, it just feels like everything is just crumbling, and the sad part about it is the Bahamian people are the ones paying the price for it. And then not only that, by extension, the tourists that are coming to our shores, because now with the situation with Bahamas here, that had an impact on families and other people coming into the country.
But in addition to that, those who are making these decisions, they don't go to the food stores.
No.
They don't go to the gas station because the gas is paid for by the Bahamian people.
Yep.
And most of them send the persons who work for them in their houses to go buy grocery. Why don't you go to the grocery store sometime?
Yep. Walk the
See what $300 can give you.
A disconnect.
See what it can give you.
No, they don't send their help with $300 now.
See what it can give you.
But a disconnect, eh? Gentlemen, before we move on to the CCA ruling, I want to say this. This is just in from the Department of Road Traffic Department. It is to let you guys know, because many of you are walking or driving around rather with no license plate. However, the Road Traffic Department wishes to invite members of the public who have not yet collected their vehicle license plates with the prefixes DA and DB to do so from their location of vehicle registration. All vehicle license plates have been printed and are now available. Customers are asked to present the payment receipt for collection. The Road Traffic Department remains committed to providing services in a safe and efficient manner. Now, members of the public can contact the Department of Road Traffic at roadtraffic@bahamas.gov.bs. Again, roadtraffic@bahamas.gov.bs for further details. Again, if your license plate has the prefix or prefixes DA and DB, your license plate is ready. Get there. I listen, these vehicles that drive around with no license. Anyways, listen, gentlemen, I want to get to this very quickly. Sarkis Esmeralda, and we know, had a major win in court this week. Multi-billion-dollar ruling that was handed down against China Construction America has been set in stone. This is the United States Supreme Court seeks to enforce its position on a matter revealed in October. And we see now they're saying $1.9 billion pay up. You all, what does this even mean? First of all, Sarkis is very happy because we knew how that all played out and what he went through all these years. But now it appears as though he perhaps is on the road to re-establishing and having that dream realized again.
At last, eh?
I don't know. You know, the thing is, having the dream that he constructed while he was here is one thing, but it still has a stain on the country, the whole situation that transpired because of the alleged involvement of what was then stated as corrupt government officials. It still gave the impression that the Bahamian government was a part of causing him to lose the revenue and being shafted as it were. And so right now, even though he may have received his just due, it still has a bad stain on the country. And so to the extent that he takes that level of resources now, we have to see where he takes that. Does he take that to another country, or does he look at this as another opportunity to find something to do within the Bahamas? Obviously, we do need direct foreign investment for growth and development as a people, because where we find ourselves in this pickle now with the government, because there's so many government employees, which is the largest employer, we find that that reliance on government causes a burden to be on the government, and that's why we face these problems. But the more we can divest our economy into businesses, which is private, it gives a great opportunity. But when we divest, we got to make sure that the Bahamian people are not shafted at the end of it as well. But overall, it's a good thing that he's gotten his just due. And for me, I would like to see where it all goes and the impact of it, because certainly there's going to be some ripple effects of the ruling.
Let me say that the Christie government worked hand in hand with the Israeli family trying to get Bahama sorted out. Many of us as ministers then spent many long hours with the Prime Minister, Honorable Perry Christie, in his office at night, calling the Chinese government, giving them the state of affairs and trying to ask for assistance to get this matter cleared up. But one must accept the fact that unbeknown to the government of the Bahamas, Israeli those went to Delaware and declared bankruptcy. And that precipitated a lot of things to happen. Then he went to New York, and he is now, look as if CCA is going to face a hell of a situation with coming up with $1.9 billion to pursue an appeal. But if they don't have that money, it means that the owner now of Bahama, because Bahama was sold to another Chinese company. This is a ticklish situation. I suspect at the end of the day, depends on how the Chinese government feel. I don't know whether they have any investment in the owners now of the people responsible for running Bahama. Within the next 3 to 6 months, the air is going to clear. And we should see what happens when the smoke simmers away. Look as if this maiden right now is in the driver's seat. So we got to see how this movie ends.
Yeah. Leslie, very, very quickly, you went earlier today to visit the lady. We know that a 41-year-old has been taken into custody for beating that lady, that video that we all saw. You went earlier today to visit her again. I understand she's set for surgery tomorrow?
She's in very good condition. Her eye has gone down tremendously.
Wow.
The bruise and the cuts are still there. And she's going to go on operation between 8 and 10 tomorrow for about 2.5 hours to repair her broken right leg. 2 very severe fractures to the left leg, and the ankle is also broken, the left ankle. She was happy to know that they have caught the culprit. But she's still disappointed that none of those men, including those that came off the jitney and stood there for about 2 damn minutes, did nothing on her behalf. It hurts me as a man,
Absolutely.
as a human man, that some of our fellas could be so gutless.
Man, listen.
So gutless. That you could see a woman, that could be a sister, could have been your cousin, you don't know who the hell it was. Because you couldn't see that good to begin with. But you really made, fellas, you all made us look bad.
For sure.
As men in this country, please, step to the plate, man.
For sure.
And most women who know you all should stay the hell away from you all.
For sure.
Because you're gutless.
They are too focused on their pedicures, pardon me, their manicures, many of them, to even try to get involved.
Men is do manicure now?
Of course men do manicure. What? These men, nails.
So how come the woman is doing it to me?
No, they go get it done.
Oh, they go to get manicure?
They don't their spa appointments are well placed in advance.
Little funny damn bunnies.
Listen, I tell you, listen, some of these men who anyways, gentlemen, I thank you both.
Yeah, I don't know them, so don't put
I thank you both very, very much. Absolutely, always really interesting and engaging speaking and discussing the issues with you both. Don't go anywhere though. When we come back, we're going to go to the island of Abaco and speak with the Chamber of Commerce president there. Coming up next after this break.
It's the most luckiest time of the year. There'll be dreams that are spinning and cash prizes winning. Just Big Bang is here. It's the most luckiest time. Yes, the most luckiest time. Oh, the most luckiest time of the year.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Island Luck.
Time of the year.
Tired of driving around from place to place just to get your car insured and licensed? Frustrated with the process of being back and forth from your insurance company to road traffic? Well, BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers just made insuring and licensing your motor vehicle as easy as 1, 2, 3. Step 1. Visit us at the Road Traffic Department, Section 1, Thomas A. Robinson Sports Stadium. At our office, you can purchase or renew your insurance or get your vehicle inspected. We at BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers represent major carriers. Step 2. See the professionals at Road Traffic to get your vehicle licensed. Step 3. Enjoy your day. Insure with BMG Insurance Agents and Brokers today, saving you time and money. Your one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs. Great rates, convenient, excellent service. For more information, call us at 322-2221.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience, with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Well, in Abaco, of course, it's a thriving business center from foreign direct investment to second home ownership, Airbnb. Abaco's economy is thriving and its Chamber of Commerce is thriving. However, President of the Chamber of Commerce on the island of Abaco, Daphne de Gregory Mayolis, says she is discouraged because of the apathy on the island and the fact that many are watching from the sidelines and not wanting to participate and make it really as impactful and serving more and more people as it can. Well, we're going to speak with her and find out exactly what's happening on Abaco, why she is saying that come the next AGM, she will make the announcement officially that she is stepping down as its president, even though she's being asked today even to please hold on to the position because of the job she's doing. We're going to welcome Daphne here to Beyond the Headlines. Thank you very much for joining us, Daphne. It's good to have you here and good to see you.
Thank you, Shanique. It's always good to hear from you, and your show is always very insightful. Thank you for being on the pulse in the Bahamas.
Well, thank you so much, and I certainly enjoy doing so and bringing issues to the forefront. Let's just talk about what's happening in Abaco. I described Abaco's economy, perhaps not even as I should have perhaps even talk about it more. You know it because you're the president of the Chamber of Commerce there on the island of Abaco. Abaco's economy has rebounded significantly since Dorian and doing exceptionally well. You are busy doing a ton of things, yet though you find yourself saying that the next AGM, you will be making an announcement that you're stepping down as the president. Why?
Well, honestly, Shanique, I think it's time for new blood. I'm the longest serving member on the Abaco Chamber of Commerce. It's over 10 years. I'm not sure exactly the number of years, but it's more than 10 years. And I feel that I've really given it my all. I'm a very strong supporter of chambers of commerce, and I feel that they are very vital. And if they are effective in terms of communicating between government and the business sector, being a voice for the business sector, they should and could be very effective. However, it needs the support of the business community, and it needs to have more than one voice. My voice cannot speak for all. And I really am hopeful that by me stepping away from the limelight of the chamber, it will open the door for others, younger and maybe with brighter ideas and bringing their own following, that we can have new pulse, new initiatives, just new blood, basically.
Let's talk about some of the things you've been able to accomplish there and the difference you've made in your presidency to the business community there before we get to what you would witness the mindset to be and that thing that's now become just a bit too much, that you figure, you know what, if new blood is at the table, if new energy and new vision is at the table, perhaps it can move forward in a different way. But let's just talk about some of the highlights in the last decade that you've been able to achieve.
Well, I don't know that I can really pinpoint many highlights. I mean, I've been a proponent for increased education, involvement of schools and youth. I mean, bringing in the younger generation to take a stand in our events, promoting housing opportunities, having workshops on, the going cashless and the new systems, electronic systems, trying to get persons who are not so technically inclined, give them an opportunity to have one-on-one consultation with vendors and providers of services. We've hosted a number of town meetings. We promoted and advocated for the extension of SARES over and over post-Dorian. Many people, Abaco is thriving, but there are a lot of people who are still not. The average person has still not been able to rebuild, recover, relocate. And one of my biggest drives was for increased housing. The biggest challenge that Abaco is facing right now is housing. And unfortunately, anyone who has a room or has a rental property, they're all going to Airbnb because, of course, that's where the money is. But if government, the one thing I would love to see government do is a private partnership with a builder, a construction company, that government would put in the land and they build rental units. Now, why I say it should be a government-initiated or partnership is because whoever does the building, the concessions must be regulated so that rental is controlled. It's to fill the gap for those persons who cannot afford $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 a month rent. That middle income, your civil servants, your teachers, your policemen, we're shorthanded with persons in the teaching industry, the nursing, the doctors, the police, because there's no place to house them.
Well, that housing shortage has become a national problem because many people are now seeing that they can perhaps be better landlords if they were to turn their properties into Airbnb. It's not much wear and tear on the houses or on their properties, etc. So the thing is, you have to find that balance. Not sure, but let's just talk about what a part of what your issue is. You also hope to see more engagement from central government when it comes to ensuring that chambers of commerce are as vibrant and impactful and effective as they can be. Talk about that.
Well, I think that government has to really get away from dictating and deciding for any island what their image should be, what their needs are. And even with foreign investment, whenever there's an opportunity for development or investment or any growth in the island, it should engage the chamber. It should engage local government. There should be a communication, an opportunity for us to say, this is what we really want. Can we have this included in the negotiations? For instance, if the Sandy Point South Abaco development that is slated to come on in the new year, those kids need a school. They need a school down there. They have to be bused 60 miles to go to school, up and down every day. I don't feel like our government asks
Interests of islands.
for enough. They don't ask for enough. We're so eager to bring the revenue in and to provide jobs that we're not really considering what else can happen for the communities of these developments that are surrounding these developments. There's not enough being given back to those communities.
I agree.
We don't just need jobs. We need education. We need training. We need advancement and opportunity, entrepreneurship, new businesses to come to be involved in these developments. We need a stake in the development.
I absolutely.
Bahamians first.
How do you suppose chambers of commerce and local government administrations on various islands will be impacted by this? Recently, I had an interview with the Minister of Family Island Affairs, who talked about the new local government bill that will give more autonomy to local government practitioners on various family islands. How do you think that will further strengthen and also give that autonomy to, number one, the local government, then the chambers of commerce, and then those islands themselves to have their islands develop as the people who are there know is best for the islands to move forward?
Well, as long as we can keep the politics out of the local government, I think that's important. Also, I think that local government, let's give them more autonomy. Those are words. We also need more funds. We need a greater share in the taxes that are collected. So we realize that Abaco's taxes have to go to support other islands less fortunate than ours. But we need a percentage of our taxes to remain with local government, where we can manage simple things like putting cat eyes on roads. You take your life in your hands when you travel on the roads here at night. Surveillance cameras to keep security, in check. Garbage collection, cleaning the verges on the roads, clearing drains. All of these basic infrastructural day-to-day needs that we experience and we feel. Nassau central government, they don't feel it because they're not here. But these are the kinds of things that we should be able to budget for, but we need the money. And giving us autonomy is only half of the job.
Yeah.
We need funds.
Yeah, well, a part of that bill also says that you can raise your funds, and there are many things that you can now do, in terms of local government, to better an island. But let's get back to the chamber and what you wish to see with the person who perhaps will replace you eventually. You want people to be more apathetic and not what you see displayed here. Well, not less apathetic, rather, and not what you see displayed now. In fact, like, for example, just sitting there and expecting things to happen and not participating.
Well, I would encourage really first of all, every citizen is an ambassador to their island and their country. We, each and every one of us, has a responsibility to helping to uplift each other, ourselves and each other and our communities. Business owners, yes, there are business owners who are doing very well and who are boasting that, business is almost back to or surpassing what it was 2019. But not everybody is sharing in that. We need to spread it out more. We need to help and attract newer, younger businesses, more competition, better services. I really am hopeful that people will stop just sitting back and waiting for somebody else to do for them.
Absolutely.
Those days are over.
I think that point and message is something the nation can benefit from, all of us, if we would all just sort of stop waiting for someone to do something for us. Meanwhile, though, don't stand in the way when someone is trying to get something done, that too. But Daphne, you have served Abaco well. You continue because Daphne and her husband run the all-organic neem farm there in Abaco. And so she continues to be very busy and be a leading businesswoman and community leader there on the island of Abaco. And certainly, of course, you stepping away from the chamber doesn't mean that you're going quietly and sitting on the sidelines.
By no means. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm everything but quiet. If I have an opinion, I will voice it. And I will continue to try to speak out where I think the need be. And certainly I will, be here to assist the chamber as it goes on. I certainly will be a voice for them and for the community. I really, really, really am hopeful that we're going to get a good administration pulled together in January, and that it will continue to be a driving force for the business community. I personally, my husband and I, we're focusing on a dream that we have had for years. Dorian sort of shoved us out and pushed us out of Marsh Harbor onto our farm. And it's been an amazing opportunity and experience to live on a farm for the past 5 years, totally sustainable, totally off-grid. It's a lifestyle that I wish more people could have the opportunity to experience.
Yeah.
So we're now going to hopefully build some cottages and open that, instead of just being a destination, having it also to have accommodations, so that when you need a break, Shanique, and you need to get out of the Dodge,
I will take you up. I will take you up on that. Sounds so good. Really sounds like
in nature.
Yes, sounds like a great escape. Thank you very much, Daphne. Thank you so much, President of the Abaco Chamber of Commerce, and of course, President along with her husband of Abaco Neem Farm there in Abaco. Thank you very much for joining us. And I want to thank all of you for tuning out and hanging out all week long. I hope you have your Christmas shopping just about done. It's good, though, having you along this evening, and we look forward to seeing you right back here on Monday evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a blessed weekend, everyone.